Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Picture this. It's the start of your day. You open your laptop and immediately get pulled into the easy stuff. Emails, messages, tiny tasks that feel productive but don't actually move your life forward. Meanwhile, the one task that really matters sits there like a shadow. The proposal, the workout, the hard conversation. The one thing that would change your week if you finished it. And here's the weird part. The more important it is, the more your brain avoids it. Brian Tracy's idea in Eat That Frog is simple, almost annoying in how simple it is, and it works. If you eat the frog first, meaning you do your biggest, most important, most procrastinated on task before anything else, your whole day gets lighter. You stop fighting yourself. But there's a twist most people miss. Your frog isn't always obvious, and if you choose the wrong frog, you'll stay busy and still feel stuck. So today, we're going to make your frog impossible to ignore and easy to finish. Here's what you'll get today. First, you'll learn how to identify the one task that actually deserves to be your frog, not just the loudest task in your inbox. Second, you'll get a simple planning method to make starting automatic so you don't rely on motivation. Third, you'll build a daily system for focus, urgency, and follow-through, so you stop almost finishing your best goals and start completing them. By the end, you'll have a clear ritual you can use tomorrow morning to get more of the right work done without working longer hours. Eat That Frog is Brian Tracy's practical guide to stopping procrastination and increasing personal effectiveness. The core thesis is built around an old saying: if the first thing you do each morning is eat a live frog, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that's probably the worst thing you'll do all day. In the book, the frog is a metaphor for your most challenging, highest impact task, the one you're most likely to delay, but the one most likely to improve your results when you finish it. Instead of giving you theory, Tracy lays out a set of concrete, repeatable tactics, small disciplines that stack. The spirit of the book is decision, discipline, and determination. Decide what matters, discipline yourself to start, and stay determined until it's done. Now let's turn that into a playbook you can actually use. Big idea. If you don't choose your frog on purpose, your day will choose one for you. Most procrastination isn't laziness, it's confusion. When your goals are fuzzy, your actions get fuzzy, and your brain reaches for easy wins to feel in control. Brian Tracy's first move is basically set the table before you eat. Get clear about what you want and get honest about what matters. Because the truth is, you can do almost anything, but you can't do everything. And when everything feels important, you'll default to what feels safe. Here's a real-life example. You want a promotion. You tell yourself, I need to work harder. So you stay responsive, you answer fast, you attend every meeting. You become the person who's always available. But the promotion doesn't come because what actually mattered was finishing one high-visibility project, or building one skill your role demands, or delivering one measurable result. Your frog wasn't work more, your frog was ship the thing. Do this today in 3 quick moves. First, write down one goal that would make the next 90 days a win. Second, write down the single most valuable result that would support that goal, something you could point to. Third, define the next physical action you can take in under 30 minutes. Not work on the project, that's vague. Make it physical. Outline the proposal, draft the first page, pull the numbers, open the doc, and create the structure. Because once your frog becomes specific, it becomes startable. And that leads to the next big principle. Planning isn't paperwork, planning is a weapon. Big idea. The more you plan before you start, the less you need willpower later. A lot of people try to wing productivity. They wake up and ask, what do I feel like doing first? And the answer is almost never the hardest thing. Brian Tracy's approach is to plan every day in advance. Your plan is the bridge between your intention and your actions. When you plan, you reduce the number of decisions you have to make while you're tired, distracted, or emotional. Think of it like laying out your gym clothes the night before. You're not proving you're disciplined, you're making discipline unnecessary. Real-life example. You have a side business idea. You swear you'll build it after work. But after work, your brain is cooked. You open your phone, you scroll, you snack, you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. But when you plan the night before, you remove the debate. Tomorrow morning has a script. Do this today. Before you go to bed, write a short list for tomorrow. Then choose the one task that, if completed, would make tomorrow a win even if nothing else gets done. Then block the first protected chunk of your day for it, even if it's just 45 minutes. And here's the key. Prepare the runway. Open the tabs you need. Put the document on your desktop. Put your notes in one place. Make the start frictionless. Because your goal isn't to become a new person tomorrow. Your goal is to make starting so easy that even the current version of you can do it.
Now, once you've planned your day, you need a filter for what truly matters. That's where the next idea hits. Big idea. Most tasks don't matter, and treating them like they do is how you stay overwhelmed. Tracy leans on the 80-20 principle. A small percentage of your activities will create the majority of your results. That means your life is quietly shaped by a few key actions repeated. This is painful because it implies something you might not want to admit. A lot of what you do each day is noise. It feels responsible, it looks busy, but it doesn't pay off. Real-life example. Let's say you're in sales or client work. You could spend all day following up with low-quality leads and feel productive. Or you could spend 60 focused minutes pursuing the top prospects, improving your pitch, and sending fewer but stronger proposals. One path fills your calendar, the other fills your bank account. A simple way to apply this: ask, if I could only do 3 things today, which 3 would create most of my results? Tracy calls this the law of 3. Your top 3 activities tend to drive most of your value. Do this today in 2 steps. First, list everything you're currently doing or worrying about. Second, circle the few items that directly create results: money, progress, health, or relationships. Then pick the single most important of those and name it your frog. Notice what we just did. We didn't add more tasks, we removed illusions. But even when you know your frog, your brain will still try to avoid it, so you need fuel. Tracy's next idea gives you that fuel. Big idea. The fastest way to stop procrastinating is to make consequences feel real. Procrastination thrives in the fog of later. Later feels infinite. Later feels forgiving. But later is where goals go to die quietly. Tracy's point is that priorities become obvious when you connect tasks to consequences. When you clearly see what a task will cost you if you delay it and what it will give you if you finish, it becomes easier to start. Real-life example. You keep delaying a professional certification. Every month you delay, you stay capped at your current income level. You stay less confident in meetings. You keep telling yourself you're not ready. But once you connect the dots, if I finish this, I become eligible for better work, and if I don't, I stay stuck. The task stops being a chore and becomes a doorway. Do this today. Take your frog and write 2 short sentences. 1, if I do this today, I will gain. 2, if I delay this, I will pay. Keep it honest, keep it personal. Then add 1 pressure lever. Create a deadline that forces movement. Not an imaginary one, something real. Send a message saying you'll deliver a draft by a certain time. Schedule the meeting. Commit to a public progress update. This isn't about stress, it's about clarity. Because when the cost of delay becomes vivid, your brain stops treating the frog like danger and starts treating it like relief. Now we need a clean way to rank everything on your list so the frog is always obvious. That's where the ABCDE method comes in. Big idea. If you can't prioritize fast, you'll waste your best hours on your least important work. The ABCDE method is a simple labeling system. You take your list and assign letters based on consequences. A tasks are must-do tasks with real consequences. B tasks matter but have smaller consequences. C tasks are nice to do but don't truly change anything. D tasks should be delegated when possible. E tasks should be eliminated. And then there's the key move. Once you label, you identify your A1, the biggest, ugliest frog on the list. That becomes your first target, and you don't touch lower-level tasks until it's done. Real-life example. You're a manager. Your day is full of interruptions. If you start with email, you'll never stop. If you start with the A1, like preparing a critical plan, solving a high-impact problem, or coaching a key team member, your leadership actually improves. Meanwhile, a lot of urgent requests were really D tasks you could delegate, or C tasks that were just social pressure. Do this today in 3 moves. First, write your task list on paper or in one place. Second, label each item A, B, C, D, or E based on consequences. Third, choose your A1 and start immediately before you warm up with anything else. And here's a tiny rule that changes everything. Never do a B task while an A task remains unfinished. That's how you stop being busy and start being effective. Now, even with perfect priorities, a big frog can still feel heavy. So Tracy adds a principle that turns heavy into manageable. Big idea. The secret to finishing big tasks is to make them small enough to start. When a task feels huge, your brain creates emotional resistance. It's not logical, it's protective. Big tasks feel like uncertainty, and uncertainty triggers avoidance. Tracy offers practical ways to break the frog down. Slice it into smaller pieces or poke holes in it so progress begins. The moment progress begins, momentum starts doing the work. Real-life example. You want to get in shape. Get fit is a monster task. It has too many meanings. So you delay because you don't know where to start. But walk for 20 minutes today is a slice. Prep tomorrow's breakfast is a slice. Do 15 push-ups is a hole punched into the task. Now you're moving, and movement creates identity. Same with work. Write the report is scary. Create the outline with 5 headings is not. Collect the 3 key data points is not. Do this today in 3 moves. Take your frog and split it into the first 3 micro steps that feel almost too easy. Then do step 1 immediately. Not later, immediately. Open the document, create the headings, write the first ugly paragraph, place the first call. Your goal isn't perfection. Your goal is forward motion. Because once the task is in motion, it's easier to keep pushing than it is to stop and restart.
Now we're at the final make or break skill, focus. Because you can know your frog, plan it, prioritize it, and still lose the day to distractions. Big idea? If you multitask your frog, you don't eat it, you just chase it around the plate. Tracy's advice here is blunt. Single-handle every task. Do one thing at a time and stay with it until completion. Switching costs you energy. Interruptions break momentum, and the modern world is basically a factory designed to create interruptions. This is where the technological time sinks show up. Endless checking, endless pings, endless little dopamine snacks that steal your deep work hours. Real-life example. You sit down to work on your A1. You tell yourself you'll just check email for 2 minutes. Then you see something annoying. You respond. Then you remember something else. Then you open another tab. 30 minutes disappears. Now your brain feels scattered, so the frog feels even harder. But when you single-handle, something different happens. Your mind quiets down. You feel capable again. You build trust with yourself. Do this today in 3 steps. First, create a distraction-free zone for one focused block. Phone away, notifications off, one tab open. Second, set a timer for a short sprint and commit to staying with the frog until the timer ends. Third, when the sprint ends, decide whether to do another sprint or to take a short break, but don't switch to low-value tasks just because. And add one more layer. Build urgency on purpose. Give the task a finish line. Decide, this gets done by today, and treat that decision like a contract with yourself, because a focused hour on the right task can change your entire week. Now let's put all of this into a simple 7-day plan, so you don't just feel inspired, you actually build the habit. Day 1 is Clarity Day. Set the table. Choose one meaningful goal for the next 90 days, and pick one frog that supports it. Make the frog specific, and write the very next physical action. Day 2 is Planning Day. The night before, write tomorrow's list. Choose your A1 before you sleep. Prepare your workspace so starting is easy. Tomorrow morning, eat the frog before you touch messages. Day 3 is Prioritizing Day. Use the ABCDE method on your full list. Delegate one D task, eliminate one E task, then complete your A1 and notice how much lighter everything feels afterward. Day 4 is Leverage Day. Apply the 80-20 rule. Ask what small set of actions drives most of your results, and identify your personal law of 3. Then make one of those 3 your frog and protect it. Day 5 is Momentum Day. Take a big task and slice it. Break it into 3 micro steps. Start with the smallest slice immediately. The win today isn't finishing perfectly, it's building the reflex to begin. Day 6 is Focus Day. Create one distraction-free work block. Phone away, notifications off, single-handle your frog until it's complete or until your focused block is done. Make your environment support your discipline. Day 7 is Review Day. Look back at what worked. Identify what made you procrastinate, unclear goals, too big tasks, or too many distractions. Then write a simple rule for next week. One frog every weekday, first thing, before the world gets a vote. If you do nothing else, do that rule. Because this method isn't about becoming superhuman, it's about choosing one meaningful thing and finishing it consistently. Let's bring it home. Eat That Frog isn't telling you to do more, it's telling you to do what matters first. Choose your frog with clarity, plan your day before the day plans you, prioritize by consequences, break big tasks into startable pieces, and single-handle with focus until the job is done. So, here's your challenge for tomorrow. What's your frog? Drop a comment with this exact sentence. My frog tomorrow is, and then write the one task you'll do before anything else. And if you want more book summaries like this, practical, story-driven, and designed to turn ideas into action, subscribe. Your future gets built in focused sprints, one frog at a time.